What is going on? Welcome to season 2, episode 5. Today we are going to meet the Z. So the idea here is we're going to give you, if you're a prospective buyer, the insights into how this franchisee chose the brand that she chose, as well as for franchisors, here's some insights into how a great franchisee has decided why she ended up picking the brand. So I want to bring in our guest, Susan Steron. Thank you so much for giving us some time today. Would love for you to start off by positioning, how do you even become a franchisee? What were you doing beforehand? And what was the moment that said, wow, franchising seems to make sense for me? I think that would be a great way to frame our discussion.
Absolutely. Well, I kind of came about franchising a little bit naturally because Sylvan is my family business, and I've been a franchisee with Sylvan for 25 years. And I started out because my mother purchased Sylvan when I was just graduating from college. And I had a lot of different directions that I was going in my life. I was actually moving back home to go to medical school. And Sylvan just kind of fell into my lap along with my mom, who was a lifelong educator. She was a teacher and had an administrative degree, and Sylvan kind of seemed like the perfect fit for her. She always did tutoring in our house when we were growing up. So really my whole life, I was kind of exposed to what would become Sylvan in my future. And I joined her after her first year, and we had one location, and I decided to kind of stick with it and help her expand. And now we have 4 locations in 2 different cities, and it's been a wonderful opportunity for our family. And years into it, my brother even joined us. So it's really a family affair here.
Susan, what you described is such, not, I wouldn't say a rare event, but it's a special event in franchising. When prospective franchisees that are out there, anyone who's watching these videos, someone who's looking, maybe do I make that switch to become a franchisee? They're all looking for a story like that, right? To buy a franchise opportunity that becomes a legacy. I think a lot of franchisors talk about that and offer that promise, but very few deliver. What advice would you give based on your experiences to someone who's looking to buy a franchise? Like, what are some of the intangibles? What are some of the indicators that you look back now that really is the result, or something that someone could look to find that right franchise where there is a legacy?
I think it's really finding the right combination of something that you're passionate about and can dedicate your life to, and has opportunity to provide growth and flexibility so that you can kind of mix that entrepreneurial spirit that you may have along with something that you feel like this can be something that you're willing to dedicate your whole life to. I think that's one of the wonderful things about Sylvan is that it's such a wonderful brand, and we deliver such an incredible opportunity for families. So every single day I can feel good about going to work and delivering a product that really changes lives. And for me, it really goes beyond just the franchising opportunity, but being able to really do something great in the world and to be able to offer something as a service to the community where, I can really feel good about what I'm doing every single day. I think one of the things I love about franchising is being able to bring that local feel to the community and to the business world. And that's been really great for us. We've really now are kind of recognized as Sylvan. And I think if you can find the right fit and the right business where you can really put your personal stamp on it and become part of your community, it's a wonderful opportunity to really provide your family with that opportunity for growth. I mean, it's been life-changing for us. And both financially and just kind of the emotional and just opportunities that the business has provided for us all. But I think really finding something that you're passionate about, like anything, being able to go to work every day and not feel like it's a job, being able to put your spin on it and be able to grow it and have opportunity for growth. That's one thing that I think is really important for franchising. Some people are looking for more that kind of cookie cutter, safe environment, and others are looking for more of an expansive opportunity where they can really grow and find new ways to develop and to expand. And for us, that's one of the things that was really attractive about Sylvan.
Susan, when you reflect back on, I'm getting feedback. Charles, I might be on your end. When you reflect back on 25 years of being associated with this brand, obviously, like the good is that you've been through various situations, whether it's September 11th, whether it's 2008. So you've seen the different rides. One, obviously, I can see your aura. You're clearly a happy human being, and your positivity is already shining through in a time when a lot of people are struggling. So I would love to hear your insights as a business owner. How are you navigating this storm mentally, and how are you keeping the positivity for opportunity? And then secondly, as you swing to the end of your answer, I would love, there's going to be people that are sitting on the sideline right now that are hesitant to get into business ownership because they are scared, and not just scared from a financial commitment standpoint or leaving their job or taking this adventure. But there's also other things that are happening in the climate that are probably causing some fear too. So I would love just how have you navigated this storm, and how would you advise someone that wants to make the move but might be scared to do it?
I think there's never a perfect time to do anything. And so just, taking that risk and feeling like, this is the time for you. If you want to make a move, this is probably the perfect opportunity to be able to do it, because everything is changing and the landscape for all businesses is changing. So, you have an opportunity to be passionate, to go out, to make a mark, and to, really grow businesses when many others are not. We made a decision right at the beginning of COVID that, we were going to survive this, and we were not just going to survive it, we were going to thrive during this. And it has not always been easy, but I have an amazing team, and everybody really just jumped in and was so excited to just be able to change the landscape of what we were delivering, to go to, for a short time, a total virtual model, which, we are not typically a tech company, but in an instant, we switched into our houses and felt the need to still be able to deliver Sylvan to families so that kids didn't miss a beat. We knew that it was important that kids kept learning and that Sylvan was that stability that they really needed. So we did everything we could. It was really almost like running a startup. So if you have the energy, or you can find it within, this is the time to really, make some changes, because there are a lot of businesses that are not successful. But if you're willing to work hard, I always think that hard work perseveres. And, there's so much opportunity out there. If you have the mindset to be successful and that you can overcome anything, I think you can. We've weathered different storms, as you said, recessions, and obviously COVID, which is one of the biggest ones. But we're still here, and we feel like we're going to be stronger than ever. We're very grateful for our very loyal families that have supported us. And I think part of that is because of the level of customer service and really family involvement that we've delivered for so many years. We always say, when you're coming to Sylvan, you're really joining our family, and we truly believe that. And we know that what we can deliver to families is so amazing and inspiring. And at this crazy time, families need it more than ever. I don't know about all of you, but homeschooling at home has not been easy. And I think more families are going to need services like Sylvan. And I think that for so many businesses, now some of the older kind of businesses that might not be as dynamic, some of those are going to fall off the grid. But that's when new franchisees with new energy and new ideas can really step into the playing field and really make a change. And so I think on a lot of fronts, this is the time to buy a business. People are looking for opportunity. They're looking for services. They want to feel like you're supporting them. That's kind of our climate right now. So I think, jumping in and kind of taking that risk could really pay off.
Susan, as you're speaking, Nick, you're like an ideal representative of the Sylvan brand, right? And so trying to connect the dots, we've had conversations with the Sylvan management team. And one thing that's impressed me their corporate focus on technology for the franchisees. Basically, Sylvan being an education and really a technology platform. And now we see the opposite side of this, which is a franchisee that feels empowered, is talking about opportunity that's ahead. In terms of your success as a franchisee and the positive attitude you're bringing to it, how much of that is also leaning in on Sylvan at the corporate level and supplying you with the technology, the tools, so you could be out there and actually sell and support customers?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity because it's interesting. Sylvan switched a little bit of their platform for our customer management system and some of our testing and education delivery to be a little bit more web-based. And, right before kind of everything shut down, say on a Friday, on Monday, we were supposed to transfer all of our data over to this new system. And a part of me was kind of like, there's too much going on. We shouldn't switch, let's just put this aside. But we went for it anyway, which I think everybody in the system did, which was perfect timing, which allowed us really the flexibility to be able to deliver our programs remotely instead of just working off a server in our physical learning centers. So it was really the perfect timing, I think, on Sylvan corporate side, and I'm very grateful for that. Because then we were able to kind of pick up shop in our homes and be able to deliver Sylvan via Zoom really seamlessly, which is great. And I mean, we have a great relationship with corporate, and I don't think I would be in this as long if it wasn't for that relationship. So I do think, as another point and an aside, when you're looking at a franchise, that's really, really key. They're your partners, and finding a good franchisor is really important, because if you're going to be in it for the long haul, you want them also to be in it for the long haul, and you want them to be able to see your view on franchising and give you that power to be able to be successful, and give you the tools and be able to keep changing with the times too. That's one of the things I love about Sylvan is our business 25 years ago doesn't look anything like our business today. I can remember scoring tests using a highlighter, and pulling different books and, matching things up to see what students need in terms of skills. And, we laugh about it now. And now everything's so dynamic and so kind of technologically advanced. And Sylvan has been working on a corporate level tirelessly during COVID to be able to bring us a better product that we can deliver that uses less devices and is easier to navigate. So I really commend them, because without that, we would all really have been stuck. And if we couldn't deliver during this time, I think a lot of franchisees would be bankrupt. But instead, we all have been able to rise to the occasion. It's almost like running a startup. It's kind of fun, and they're giving us new information. Everybody was online every single week learning about new opportunities, learning from each other. It was really great, and it was inspiring. And I don't think without that I would be so positive right now.
Probably a piece of advice I would imagine for anybody that's looking at a franchise brand right now too is to look at how does brands navigate different twists in economic conditions, or even when you're getting hit with a business punch, whether that's they're the McDonald's of the world that start off with burgers, fries, and shakes, and now if we look at the menu today that has salads and chicken nuggets and fish sandwiches, it's part of that is climate changes that they had to switch to fit the communities that they represent. So I would imagine what I'm hearing, because you go from highlighter to technology being at the forefront of education, that when you're doing your process of discovery, like stress test the system a little bit and understand how much flexibility is it? Is it a brand that is going to say, this is the way we've always done things, so we're unwilling to change, or is it flexibility? Is that an accurate comment?
Absolutely. I think flexibility is definitely key, and I think, if that's your style, like you have to find the right fit. If you need that kind of very structured business model, then, maybe you're looking for a franchisor that's offering that. If you're more entrepreneurial and you're willing to kind of see the changing landscape and roll with it, and not just roll with it, but also bring ideas to the table. That's another thing that I love about Sylvan, is that they're very open to franchisee ideas. One thing that now everybody kind of across the country is starting to offer, I kind of came up with it for a group of our personal friends and some of our local families that needed, support with homeschooling at home, is Sylvan Classroom. And immediately they kind of jumped on that and provided materials and, rolled it out. And so they're very open to kind of not just thinking that as a franchisor, we know everything and we know what's best. As a franchisee, you're the ones that are really on the ground in your community. So you want to look for a franchisor that's going to be open-minded to understanding what your economic environment looks like, what the customers that you serve really need, so that, and have the ability to be dynamic so that they can roll with that too. I think that's really important to have that longevity, because nothing stays the same. And as much as we want it to, as much as we may love something that happened in the past, we can't control things, whether it's advertising or financial situations. It used to be easy to advertise. There was one stream, TV, and you could reach everybody. Now the whole marketing scheme is completely different. And to be able to be flexible with that, you need to be flexible as a franchisee, and you also need a flexible franchisor.
Susan, everyone always asks, what's a good franchisor? Have you had experiences with other franchisees where you could pinpoint maybe they're not as successful as they should be, and it's probably because X, Y, and Z in terms of what they're doing or their approach?
We always say that if you're struggling, instead of blaming somebody else, look within. 90% of the time, it's probably your own challenges that are limiting you from being successful. None of us are perfect all of the time, and we don't all make the best decisions all of the time. But if you're willing to kind of put that energy in every day, I think that really shows in terms of your successes. There are good people that fail for different reasons, maybe just the community or, competition, or just maybe staffing. But most of the time, it just comes down to the people. If you're willing to work hard for it, I think the opportunity is there for you. You also have to take a hard look at yourself. Sometimes when things are not going well, you have to be honest about things that maybe you've lost your passion a little bit. It's hard. In a mixed way, COVID's actually been kind of good for me. 25 years of doing the same thing. Now I kind of feel like, wow, I'm doing something new and it's exciting, and I have to lead my team really again. They're not as independent as they were even 4 months ago. So you have to find that within yourself, really, to be a great leader and to find a great team that supports you, and also be that leader that not just the franchisor listens to your ideas, but you also listen to your team's ideas, so that as things are changing, you're able to kind of keep up with that too. But I think if you want things to just be the way they are and you're hopeful for that, that businesses are hard. They don't stay stagnant. You have to be able to roll with the punches.
It's interesting that you go down the path of, a lot has to do with the person on where success comes from. I have a friend who is he's a marketer for a franchise brand. And he's like, if franchisees would just follow our model, they would win. And he's had this mentality for 17 years. He decided to become a franchisee 17 years into his career, took over a failing location, and sales are up 85%. Location didn't change, staff didn't change, product didn't change. A lot has to do with the energy of the leader, because ultimately you're still trying to lead and motivate human beings to push something that you believe in. The last question that I would love for your insight in is just around pure happiness. Because when you start your career, this is not what you sought out to do. This is not where your path was going. As you reflect on where life has taken you, and now that you've been in this, and you would probably be in the 1% of franchisees for longevity into a system. A lot of them exit and buy another brand or change up their portfolio. Are you happy with it when you reflect back? Was this the right? Could this have gone any better for you? What do you see when you reflect backwards?
It's I I always joke that my mom kind of got me involved with like a bait and switch, you know. She was like, oh, you'll have plenty of time off. It'll be really easy. You can just kind of help me. And, you know, I've never worked less than like 58, 60 hours a week. But, you know, for me, especially the family aspect of it, I really can't imagine doing anything else. It's been very rewarding. You know, I have a very close family, and for me, that's one of the most important things, is to be able to be together and to have done this and achieve this together. You know, looking back, we're all so passionate about helping families, and at the end of the day, I think you can do anything. But I think you also have to be able to feel like I did something that really helped people. I really made a mark. Something I contributed changed someone's life in some way. And, you know, whether that's your staff or your community or at Sylvan, the families that we're helping, for me, that's the most rewarding part. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity. I think I've grown so much as a person. You know, 25 years ago, I just kind of went with my gut in terms of business. I really didn't know anything about business. I have a degree initially in biology and math. And I went and I ended up getting my MBA. And it's really taken me in a direction that I never thought my life would go. But it's exactly who I am. And I can't imagine myself as anything else. I love being able to help people. I love being able to, you know, help the franchisee community. For me, that's also been very, very rewarding, is not just being able to help families at Sylvan, but able to kind of be able to share my ideas and be able to help transform the system in some ways over the years. So that's been really exciting and kind of given me that opportunity for growth. So every time I kind of feel like things maybe are stagnant, there's always kind of a curveball that comes my way that gives me an opportunity to do a little bit something extra so that it keeps it exciting for us, definitely, you know, instead of just keeping things kind of status quo all the time.
Susan, we appreciate you sharing your story with us. I mean, the reality is for franchisors or franchisees, I gotta say, like we talk about finding the right persona, and call it luck, but Sylvan lucked out in getting you, and it seems like you're saying they lucked out and you got them too. So awesome conversation, greatly appreciated. We're gonna be cheering for you. Look forward to hearing where the next 25 years go. Thanks everyone for joining us. Susan, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.